Hey, it's Earl Mann with Mustang's ELG here. We're a marketing team proudly representing Combat 5. And I thought I'd start a series of very short insights into what I'm going to call the super advantage of Combat 5. We have quite a few super advantages over most other businesses, both traditional and in the direct selling industry. So today I'm going to focus on just one super advantage. And I challenge you to compare us to the other folks out there with their products and services and see if they if it's a true advantage or not. But one is driven by demographics. So there are a couple of global events happening right now around the world. I'm going to just tell you about two of them very quickly, and we leverage both of them. One we talk about all the time, so I'm not going to spend much time on this. If you've ever seen us explain what we do, you've probably heard us talk about it. If not, it takes you 30 seconds to recognize the first one, which is this, and it's the world is going digital. And because of that, there's this interesting phenomena of industries collapsing or coming together. And one such phenomenon is called convergence. And it's the coming together of television, internet, telephone, and computers. They're all coming together and they're creating a brand new landscape. Now this one technology idea, this fact about the things going digital and this changing or this convergence wave that's going around the world has fundamentally changed how people interact. It's changed that forever. Now people actually interact differently. They interact differently with each other, and they interact differently with information. And because of that, every single business in every single industry will be affected by the digitizing of the world and this convergence idea. The other one, though, you don't hear that much about. Now, you hear half of the story because almost the entire direct selling industry, at least 90% of the network marketing industry, and many of the major mainstream companies are built on this first idea, and it's only half the story. And the half of the story is about demographics, the baby boomers. People born between 1946 and 1964. It was the biggest population explosion to date at that time. And it resulted from all the men coming back from the war, and, well, you know what happened when they got back home, and all these babies were made. And anyway, if you want to plot the growth of almost every industry standing today and every iconic company standing today, all you have to do is look and see where was their effect to the baby boomers. It was like a big basketball being pushed through a garden hose. And if your business was on the front end of that basketball and you could expand with the hose, then you became pretty much an icon of a company. You became a very successful company. When all the babies needed to be served, Gerber became a household name. When all those babies started to play and all that stuff, you got companies like Hasbro, and all the toy companies exploded. And then you had the first schools had to be exploded, and all the education industries to support that, and all those people started to be first-time drivers. They wanted little sporty cars. Sports cars boomed, and companies like Mustangs. The Mustang car was a result of this. So actually, we might need to pay homage to that, since we've adopted the same iconic animal that the Ford did to represent this sports car. But anyway, if you follow that through time, you're going to see almost everything boom. The first real estate industry boom was when they all bought their first houses. And then when they started to upsize because they all started having kids, that was the second big boom. And you just follow that all the way through history, and you see almost every major industry's growth path plot right along beside of it. Now, where's that bubble now? Well, cut on your TV and watch it for 15 minutes. You're going to see commercials that talk about Viagra and hair color and makeup and personal care, things that make you look younger, feel younger. Why? Because most industry is still focused on that group of people, that retiring group of people. Now, this is the interesting thing, and this is the other half of the story that most people don't talk about. There's another group of people, another bubble, that's bigger than the baby boomers were. And these were people that are now between the ages of 20 and 25 years old. They're the millennials, and there are more people in that group, in that span of time, than there were in the entire span of the baby boomers. But this is the interesting thing. They have completely different things on their mind. They grew up in a completely different time. They grew up in the age of the internet. They are hyper technology friendly. They have the biggest digital life that the world has ever seen in terms of our interaction with technology. And they're just not thinking about the same things that the baby boomers are. They're thinking about social skills. You know what's hot. I don't need to tell you what they're thinking about. You know what they're thinking about. If you write down a list of all the things they're thinking about, and then and I let you do that in the blind, and you'll see how objective we are about being excited about Combat 5. But this is the point I want to make, and I'm wrapping it up. I'm pretty much done. We're one of the only companies in the industry that is positioned well to take advantage of both of these demographic bubbles, both the baby boomers and the millennials. I think the millennials is a no-brainer. But most people might say, well, how do you serve the baby boomers? Well, think about it. The baby boomers will be forced to communicate digitally. Everybody will. Everybody almost already is. And as those screens get smaller and smaller and smaller, people will no longer be typing on these little screens and these little computer screens and these little telephone screens. They're going to be talking. Video communication is on its way to be the most common form of communication because it's the easiest form of communication. It's easier to talk than it is to type. It's easier to watch than it is to read. So because of that one little fact, we will slowly capture that retiring baby boomers bubble, and we're going to also capture our percentage of the millennials. So I challenge you to find another product or service that with a single product can serve both of those markets well. Now I know some people are going to try to fudge it a little bit and make you think they do, but just think about it practically, and you should see right through that smoke screen. We're one of the few. There are not many companies out there that can serve both of those demographic bubbles. So that's super advantage number one. Stand by. I probably have a half a dozen to a dozen of these to go.